Hi, welcome to a brand new video of the Targeted Individual Program, Targeted Individual Experience. You gotta excuse me, I am very tired. I had a very long night last night uh, dealing with the targeting, which I'll get into with videos, with video evidence, again to prove the criminal coercive persuasion program. But before I begin, I want to talk about cults, right? Because as a TI, we know when we're targeted by civilian perpetrators that they are indeed part of a cult. So let's talk about a cult and the definition of what is a cult. So, what exactly is a cult? Okay, and this comes from workingpsychology.com. Okay, so question: what is a cult? A cult is a group of people who organize around a strong authority figure. Cults, like many other groups, attempt to expand their influence for the purpose of power or money. However, to achieve these ends, destructive cults employ a potent mixture of influence techniques and deception to obtain psychological control over members and new recruit. And also those who are non-members. So just want to include that there. Okay. This fundamental level of control is known alternatively as brainwashing, thought reform, or mind control. A successful induction by a destructive cult displaces a person's former identity and replaces it with a new one. That new identity may not be one that the person would have freely chosen under his or her own volition. This is from Hassan, 1990. Then it goes on about the types of religion, and they fall into four basic types: religious, psychological enlightenment, commercial, and let's get to the other one here. Uh, where are we at here? Um, okay, commercial and political. Okay, so I'm not gonna get into the whole article because I just want to move on and talk about other things, including which include my targeting. So um, I want to talk about the instantaneous reaction to the things that you do as a TI because of the remote neural monitoring, because of the surveillance, uh, that's around you 24/7 inside your home and outside your home. So last night, Pamela came in, and like I said, the past couple of days they've been using her to target me and send me subliminal messages. And so I just think what's up because we supposedly have been good. We've talked and cleared the air and stuff like that. And we're like, okay, we're good. We're both good, right? But then she starts a couple of days later. She starts acting, weird and sneaky in a type of way. And so again, red flags goes up. So last night, she came in. She had said that she was going to go in with some coworkers uh, to um, say, they have like this goodbye. She said she wanted to. She was going with a coworker to see a fellow at the hospital, which is I guess a fellow would be a doctor in training who graduate. So to say goodbye, what have you, and I had told her, okay, well when you come in home, can you pick up a bottle of cherry Pepsi? And this was like around 7, so 9 o'clock came. I didn't hear anything from her. She didn't call to say, hey, I'm on my way, anything like that. So a little after 9, I called her, and she's like, oh, I'm still here. It's actually some, they're having like some little function. There's people here, stuff like that. So she's like, but I'm leaving soon. So 10 o'clock. I didn't hear anything from her. Call her. Hey, where are you? I'm still here. I'm waiting for a ride or what have you. 10:30. Didn't hear from her. Called her again. Oh, um, I just got in a cab and I'm on my way. She came in the house again. You know the the feeling. The vibrations was off. She came. She sat. She didn't even say, good night, give me a kiss, what have you. She just came. She sat down and she showed me a picture of a group photo that she took at the function, which is fine. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So she goes in the bathroom, and I want to take a shower. So she's been in there about a good 20-25 minutes. Went in the bathroom. She kind of pushed the door back, and I'm like, why are you pushing the door back? Are you finished? She's like, yeah, but I'm, such and such. So I'm like, okay, all right, whatever. So I went in the room and went in the bedroom, and I knew something was up. I don't know if they influenced her or what have you, but I saw text messages between her and her ex, lover, that she was in a sexual relationship with before she met me. They were never really a official boyfriend and girlfriend or have you. Never in that type of relationship. It was just like um, we go out, we have sex, and whatever, right? And so, I see these texts, and I said these pictures, and I'm like, okay. So I thought everything was good. Apparently not. So again, if you're a TI in a relationship, they will use people from your significant other's past because of the current situation that you're going through, to, you know, uh, take them away, or, end the relationship, destroy your relationship, and then after the relationship is destroyed, they will leave your significant other, and at that point, you're not going to want them back because of what they've done. But this is how they do it. And from experience with other TIs, who've gone through it, and I'm going through the same thing. So I try to tell her, I said, listen, this is what they're trying to do, and this is what happened. But she don't want to listen to me. She told me she doesn't believe what I say. So I said, all right, okay, fine. So anyway, left her house around after 12 in the morning, a.m. I think it was like around 12:15, 12:20 a.m. in the morning. And let me just start the video. And so, because they surveil me and they know, what's going on between me and her, at 12, 20 something in the morning, I'm walking on the block. Then, and they've done this before. They've done this plenty of times where we get into an argument and I leave, and they'll try to send some female my way to see if I'm going to talk to them, because I guess they're thinking that, well, okay, he's angry, he's going to, and again, if you don't know better, okay, you're going to fall for it, because they take advantage of your anger. They take advantage of the situation in your relationship that's going on. They take advantage to put you at a disadvantage, okay, or to condition you a certain way, okay. So, she started doing these hand signals from afar, and that's why I started recording. When she saw me recording, she stopped. Right? I know it is dark, so you can barely see. I tried to you know lighten up the image as much as I can without it, but it is dark. Okay, so there's nothing I can do about that. At least not with this software that I'm using to record this video. Okay, so now I get to the bus stop. Okay, this is just 2 minutes later. I get to the bus stop, and of course they're gonna send the fire trucks, right? And I knew the fire truck was gonna come. I was just surprised I didn't hear the sirens, because normally they'll just drive past really fast, sirens really loud. Oh, okay, it was minutes 12. So here they come. Okay, so now they send this kid, a teenager, and you see what he's doing. He's pinching his nose. Okay, when he realized that I'm recording him, because I turned the phone towards him to record, he's going to stop. See, at this point, okay, now you see when he stops and he turns, that's when the light changed and they drove off. Remember, everything is all synchronization. When the light turned green and the use of color, right? So they use the color green, and I've talked about what that supposedly means. Okay, and so now he's going to cover up his nose. Okay, you see that? And then he realized that I turned, then he stops. Okay, now I want you to look at this picture. Okay, now um, okay, so I gotta pull this up. So I talk about how they uh, send me subliminal messages about my children, threatening me, threatening my kids, using subliminals, right? So you see this teenager here, okay? This is my son here. It's my oldest, just graduated out of high school, and this was at his graduation, okay? I want you to see the resemblance, the same haircut. This is what we as TI talk about when we said that they will go out of the way to find people that look like family members, people who you've used to date, uh, friends, high school friends, you know, to send you some type of subliminal messages. Okay, so I'm glad that I'm able to get this right now, because I've talked about this, but I've never been able to show it. But now I'm showing you guys what it is, and how they do it by looking for people who look like your kids, your exes, your current, you know, uh, friends, what have you, and trying to use them to send you subliminal message about doing the same thing that they've done to you, to your kids, or recruiting people from your past to participate in your targeting. Okay, so this is what they do. All right. Um, okay, we're gonna get into that later. All right. So let me move this back over. Um, move this back over. Okay. So this is what they do. So let's continue on with the video. So see he's looking now, and you'll see he starts to walk away. Okay. I'm still taping. Still recording. Okay. So now he starts to do the hand singers, touching his clothes, walks, and then you're gonna see the when I talk about how they do the palm fixation drill, how they'll walk in front of you and put their hand turned to where the palm of their hands is facing you. He's doing that right there. Then, oh, wrong. Okay, kind of. Well, just to hit the wrong button. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's go. Okay. So like I said, so now you start tugging on his clothes, fixing his clothes. Okay. Walks away, hands, and then you see he grab his crutch right there at the very end. You'll see it. Let's go back slightly. Okay. Right there. See where he turns? You see he doesn't want to do it in front of me, so what he does, he turns around, he does it. Again, it's the same. Once you've been conditioned and indoctrinated to these things, you know, they can be walking in front of you, but you see their hand go towards their crotch, then you know what that means, right? And I've shown you videos where they're using teenagers lately, with the teenagers walking towards me, grabbing his crotch, right? Okay, so you think that they're done, but nope, they're not. Okay, so I'm at the other bus stop because I had to take two buses to get home. Okay, so I'm at the other bus stop, waiting, and I started recording because this white vehicle kept making all these U-turns in front of me. So when I started recording, he made this final U-turn and then he drove away. Okay. Also, when I left Pam's apartment that night, she was in her room sleeping. She when she came out of the bathroom, she just had on her panties and bra. But when she came back, and then I went into the bedroom just to let her know that I was leaving. She was only wearing again her panties and bra. And when I was leaving, because she heard me open up the door, she came out and she was wearing all white. All right, so I should have, I didn't realize what was happening at that moment, but by the time I got home, I realized what was happening. Okay, they were using the color white now, predominantly, which I'll show you. Okay, so I'm at the second bus stop. See this guy here? He started doing these hand signals on the side of me, so I started recording, turned the phone towards him, he starts walking away. Okay, let me just skip past some of these things. So you see this woman here, she's doing all these hand signals, middle finger, right there. Then at one point, she started like looking at her nails, you know. I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm going to skip past some of this stuff. Uh, okay, so you'll see her turn towards me here, okay, at this point, and then she starts playing with her hair, and again she does it in such a way where she grabs her hair, but the palm of her hands is facing towards me. Okay, I'll show you guys. Okay, right here. Okay, see that? Then she's gonna grab it at this point. So you see that? She opens up the palm of her hand towards me again. This is just what they do is mask it. Again, this is called the masking technique. And the reason why she's doing that, because you'll see a police car is going to pull up. Okay, and she's doing the same thing to the girl in the blue and white dress. Okay, she's playing with her hair again. All right, where's that here? Okay. All right, let's go back a little bit. Go back a little bit, just a little. I think it might be too far. All right, so now the one in the blue and white dress, she's gonna go to the sidewalk, leaving this guy here wearing the red shirt, using the color red. Okay. All right. So now you see the police vehicle pulls up very slowly. Okay. Now, as the police car drives by very slowly, the officer on the passenger side, he starts pinching his nose. Okay. So that's I had a zoom up video of it. Okay, let's get to that part. All right, here we go. So as you see, as the vehicle drives by, he is doing this. Again, trigger warning. He is pinching his nose on the passenger side. Okay. All right. So they stop. They're gonna make a U-turn. Okay. Let me just. All right. So license plate 3058. Now here's the guy again that was walking off. He had the Nike book bag on, and he's going to come back. Right? Okay, here we go. All right, let's go back slightly. As he comes walking across the street, he's doing this. And then you'll see him look in the direction at the police car. Okay? And again, he's wearing the cross. Again, let you know that religious organizations, these are people who belong in religious organizations who are part of a multicultural, multi-ethnic cult that is under the control of those within law enforcement who are part or member of religious organizations. On top of that, above them are the architectures and the creators of these programs, those who are committing non-consensual human experimentation and who are trying to silence the victim of said experiment, non-consensual experimentation, and using the police force and using civilians to stalk, harass, poison, breaking and entering of the victims' homes, stealing their things, spreading negative rumors, and trying to entrap the victims of the non-consensual human experimentation to commit acts of violence or crimes in order to use that as a leverage to blackmail in order to silence said non-consensual human experimentation victims. Let's be clear about that. Okay, so there he goes, and again, you'll see he put his hands behind his back, so I can see the palm of his hands. Okay, so now the police gonna make another U-turn, flashing their lights. Okay, so I thought they were gonna come back in front of me, but nope. So they stop right here. He gets out. Okay, now all this construction right there, which is a safety hazard, that's why it's quartered off. Why is he walking in there? And then you'll hear the sirens. That's the fire department. That's the SUV that they use that's making the noise. See, now they're not sending the fire trucks, okay? Because again, it would be pretty obvious what it is that they're doing. So they try to switch it up, use a different method, and so they'll send the SUV from the fire department driving by with the noise campaign. Okay, so the police officer, you can barely see him, his little black speck right there. He's staring at this. He walked up to this store that's closed and just staring at the gate, right? That's pulled down, right? That's what he's doing. So you say, well, they maybe there was an alarm that going off, which it wasn't. So that's not logical. On top of that, um, why did they roll up in front of me, drove past me, make a U-turn, and then come and stop right there, right? Second, why didn't he just go back, pass back in the construction zone that he used to, pass to the sidewalk? Nope, because this was going to happen. So he's going to walk. I see now they got their lights flashing. Okay. And as the officer is walking towards me, he's looking at the ground. Okay. He was, before you came into the view of the camera, he was staring at the ground, which is something that they just started doing too. Civilian perpetrators walking towards me, and they will just stare at the ground. Okay. Okay. So they try to be slick with their targeting, but again, um, I've been in this program going on probably 2 decades now, uh, and like I said, after just being reactionary because of how they conditioned me, I said to myself, you know what, I need to learn what it is that they're doing to me, right? To understand the methods, the tactics, the techniques, the ways of persuasion that they engage in, because I never wanted to go back to being that person which they basically uh, psychologically harassed me and tortured me so much that I ended up having a nervous breakdown. All right. And so for the past, you know, 10 years or so, I've just been studying what it is that they're doing. A lot of times it's hard because a lot of times they come at you with a ferocity that's just like unbelievable, right? And so this is the kind of things that they do, right? So anyway, all right. So let's get to the next video. I got on the bus. Uh, okay, that's the video. So I got on the bus, and then I got off, and I'm walking home. But while I was on the bus, I kept noticing that uh, men, particularly men, wearing white T-shirts, was just standing on corners. So I got off the bus, started to walk home, and as I'm walking, there was a guy. Right, he has a white T-shirt on. So he was standing there when because I just, I took my phone out and I started recording him. Then he started to walk towards across the street, right towards me. Okay. Okay. So I'm walking. The video end, and I continue walking. This is right after the video end. I recorded again because there was another person coming towards me again, wearing a white T-shirt. And let me okay, now while he was coming towards me, there was a girl, a young woman walking up wearing a white T-shirt again. Um, so they were just using that color white. So as you see, he's walking towards me with his dog, and as I got closer, he's going to stop. Right, he stops right there. Okay, right there, and then he starts to point to the ground. Okay, that's what he was doing. All right, and then as soon as I got close, and I've shown this plenty of times, this is what they'll do. They'll wait till you get close, and then they'll walk in front of you, right, to where you'll almost bump them. Okay, so like I said, so this is what they do. They'll stop and they'll walk right in front of you to the point where you're like almost going to hit them. Okay, because they want to get a reaction out of you, an anger reaction, and because they figure, well, what I just found out that I'm angry, they're going to do this to try to manipulate me, so I can lash out. Right? This is their tactics. And then you hear he says to me, "Sorry about that." Again, this is another tactic, ploy that they use to say that they're sorry. They're not sorry because this is something that happens over and over again. Okay, and whenever they target you in a certain way, or target the people around you, or manipulate the people around you to target you, and your reaction, my reaction, is just like, what, I'm gonna leave. I don't want to deal with this. Then they'll do some stuff like that where there's somebody walking by and may accidentally bump you and say sorry about that, or have you, as to make you think or feel that they're sorry about doing what they have been doing to you, or they have done to you. Okay. All right, so let's get to the next video again, and this video ended here, and now I'm at the other corner. All right, I crossed the street, and guess who? I was expecting the synchronization where he's going to walk in front of me, but he didn't. What he did is that when he saw I had the phone in my hand recording, he stopped on the other side, let me cross, and then he crossed over. But I turned the phone around, and you see the guy pass in the red shirt, and at that moment, he's going to do the hand signal, trigger warning, where he puts his hand behind his head like that, okay, as he's walking. Okay. He's not. Now they're not done, because now, again, because I can anticipate what's going to happen next. So you have another guy coming down wearing a white T-shirt. Okay. I stop, and then when he sees me stop, he turns and act like if he's going onto the building. So you see him standing in front of the building. He's hiding because, again, he doesn't want me to get him on camera, right? So he stands there. He's not going into the building, right? And so now, again, the use of another ethnic group a Jewish man, young man walking, and he's walking towards me, and he has his mouth open like this. Okay, so let's go back. Let's pause that. You go back, and get at night, but you can see his mouth is open like this. All right, so they went from this to now this. Okay, so I mean, it is unbelievable. Not I wouldn't say unbelievable. It is incredible the length that these people go through. And this morning, taking a bus to come back by Pan to go pick up the kids from school because they had half a day. Today is their last day of school, and so I get on the bus, and this woman, she sees me, and she starts pinching her nose. So I said, okay, guess what? I'm going to record you. And the other one started pinching her nose. So I turned the phone towards her. But you see, when the camera is on them, they're very well behaved. Okay? They're very well behaved. They are like if they're minding their own business. Some of them, once they start, they just follow through. Others, they're very well aware of what they're doing, and they don't want to be caught on camera doing what they're doing. Okay? So, that's from last night and this morning. Okay? I have to give you guys the full story. And so today, now I confronted Pam about the situation, and she tried to put it off like it's my fault, you know. She's like, well, if we can't trust each other. I said, listen, I've trusted you so many times, and you've broken my trust. And every time you start to act a certain way, red flags goes up, and I know something is up. And when I go to look for the proof, I end up getting the proof. Okay. And there's a couple of messages that was exchanged, and I said to her, I said, you're deceitful, you're dishonest, because when you tell me that, this is not what it is, it end up being exactly what I say it is, and you just denied it. And I think because I'm a TI, and again, if you're a TI in a relationship, and particularly if they may have recruited your partner to participate in targeting you, they will use the advantage of you being a TI, of them engaging in the psychological warfare to manipulate you. Okay, to manipulate you, to psychologically abuse you, right? And so, you have to watch out for that. Okay, so again, I like to share my experience with you guys so that you guys will know and understand that if you are in this current situation, um, I try to give hints on tactics and how to deal with it. But if you aren't, and you end up meeting someone, if you're a TI, which is probably hard to do, I wouldn't say it's unlikely, but just be aware and look for the red flags. Okay, if you tell a person what's happening to you, and they ignore you or want to act like you didn't tell them what's happening to you, and they don't believe you, you don't need to be with that person or even around that person, because somebody uh, care for you, I want to get to know you, you tell them what's happening, they will make every effort available to listen, and not also just listen, but to keep in mind what it is being done to you and be more mindful of the things that you say, and become reassuring to you, right? So I think I've done this before, but this is called research.org. It talks about thought reform system, the mental control, the mystical manipulation. So again, when you think this is some type of supernatural divine thing, this belief that a lot of TIs have of demons and angels, no, stop it. That's not it. Okay, there's no such thing as demons and angels. There are evil people, there are good people. If you want to call a person that's evil a demon, that's fine. A person that's good, an angel, that's fine. But there's no such things as demon and angels. And again, this is, people believe this because of religious superstition and the lack or the ignorance when it comes to facts, truth, and evidence. Okay? Because again, all you have to do is just research your belief system. Research where it comes from. Don't just go to these religious sites to do your research. Go to sites that deal with historical documents that are chronologically timed in order with dates and periods throughout history. Okay? And go back and always try to look for the root of the belief system, how it was developed, how it came to be, and then you can go from there. Okay? Demand for purity, cult of confession, sacred science, loading the language, which is the trigger words, stuff that the words that they get you conditioned to control your emotions and to control your thought, right? Doctrine over the person, and the dispensing of existence. You guys can read all this stuff. I've read it before, and for example, where it says here, it says it says this creates an us versus them mentality and breeds fear in the individual who sees that one's own life depends on a willingness to obey. So I think it was yesterday or the day before. Um, I took the bus home, and there was a young teenager on the bus stop, and he was wearing a shirt that says "Obey" on it. Right? So this is what they do. They send you these subliminal messages. When you see people walking around with these "Obey" on their shirts, remember, silent subliminal. Subliminal messages can be carried through visualization as well as sound. So when people think of subliminal, they just think of it as just being sound. No, a lot of it has to do with visualization. Words, okay? Words are important when it comes to uh, uh, psychologically conditioning the psyche, okay? All right, so that's it for the video, and I will see you guys on the next one. And again, read up on psychological warfare or manipulation in covert type investigation, which they try to engage uh, you into what is called a catch 22. Okay, so you guys gotta read up on these things. Okay, all right. So I will see you guys on the next video.